like you're not really any talent at all. And I think mimics especially feel that way. I did anyway. Like I felt only real when I was being somebody else, you know?
Isn't that funny? Because that's what acting is, though. You're being someone else.
It is, but as a mimic, though, you know, that goes to another level.
Yeah.
And on a deeper level, besides just being able to mimic people, I had this desire, because I had kind of an unhappy childhood, to be anyone but myself. And that was also playing out as a mimic.
So do you think you wanted to start mimicking because of your unhappy childhood?
I think it partially, yes, actually.
It wasn't because you just were drawn to silly voices.
It was that.
Yeah.
And I had plastic vocal cords, so I could do it.
Yeah.
But it was also, I think there was a kind of deeper drive to sort of be somebody besides myself. And that carried over into acting. Like, I was comfortable getting up there, you know, doing a voice, whatever, there's Mo. But then to act as me, I felt very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I had to go to class for years to mostly get over that.
Because you tried stand-up early on. You have a crazy story of you audition at the Comedy Store for Mitzi Shore,
who
was like the legendary booker, and like she owned the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
And she was like the woman, the gatekeeper who decided who's in and who's out. And there's all these crazy stories. You auditioned for her, and you got in.
I didn't even know it was an audition. I just was doing a lot of improv comedy at the time. We had some material that were left over from sketches. And I was with Matthew Perry actually that night, and we went to I said, come with me. I had like 5 minutes that wasn't good for sketches.
Yes.
And I just threw it up there as stand-up, not knowing it was an audition situation. I just thought it was open mic. And she hired me.
Were you doing just like voices?
Barely any.
Well, the reason I ask is because stand-up, they say you kind of have to explore yourself and like be more comfortable in your own skin. And then you're just saying in acting, you don't want to be yourself. So when you were on stage doing stand-up, were there parts of your life you were mining?
It was very shallow. I was raised by the television. You asked me I didn't have YouTube, but I did have the TV.
Yeah. And a lot of Playboy.
And a lot of Playboy magazines, and you know, Penthouse if you were really for the darker stuff.
Okay.
And which was a big deal back then to find those magazines.
Yeah.
No, I just I mostly talked about stuff I saw on TV.
Interesting.
I talked about Star Trek, and I talked about The Love Boat, and I talked about, you know, what
so you'd be like a Captain Kirk impression?
I would do Captain Kirk going to the bathroom.
How would that go?
I would set it up as the Kirk 2-move pain reaction. Wherever he got hit, whether it was the head or the foot, he had the same reaction. It was always, this is kind of...